Rise, Meg.
The Force will be with you.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So in today's news update we're going to be talking about some really huge exciting new details for the Ahsoka Tano series, and we're also going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3. Before I dive into it, please may I ask you to hit like down below, subscribe to my channel if you're brand new, and a huge welcome if you are. And also please be sure to hit that notification bell to be alerted each and every time that I post new content to the channel. You can expect daily Star Wars updates from me. So without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So we're going to kick off with the most exciting piece of news for the Ahsoka Tano series. Over the last few hours, I've seen this being spoken about in a couple of places, so we're going to focus on two articles. This one is Ahsoka spin-off series to include time travel and monumental plot twist, and another one is by Inverse, who are talking about why the Star Wars spin-off could change sci-fi time travel forever. So let us begin. An insider source has told Small Screen and several other news outlets that Dave Filoni wants to change our understanding of Star Wars altogether through the use of the world between worlds, and the Ahsoka Tano series will use this portal to potentially even retcon the sequel trilogy. The source also goes on to say that Hayden Christensen will also feature in the series through the use of flashbacks. After all, he was Ahsoka's former master. Now I've made an entire video explaining how the world between worlds could retcon the sequel trilogy by creating two alternate timelines. One in which Luke Skywalker meets Grogu and becomes our hero, and one in which he never meets Grogu and therefore Ben Solo is his first apprentice and he goes down the dark path that we saw in the sequel trilogy. So if this rumour does turn out to be true, it could confirm many fan suspicions that indeed this version of the Star Wars sequels, which follows Mando and the spin-off shows, could act as the new sequel trilogy in and of themselves, retconning the sequels and ultimately pushing them into an alternate reality that functions as a sort of warning for what might happen if Ahsoka dies. I'm also really excited to hear the fact that Hayden Christensen might be back not only in the Kenobi series, but also in Ahsoka through flashbacks. So let's see what Inverse have to say on this issue. Ahsoka Tano owes her life to time travel. If Ezra Bridger hadn't used the world between worlds to pull her out of her fight with Vader, then she never would have met Din Djarin in Mando. Now that Lucasfilm have announced that she will get her own series, it's time to address the bantha in the room, the show's time travel roots. I also think it's worth noting that the logo for the Ahsoka show is pretty much proof in and of itself that a very central theme to the Ahsoka series is of course going to be time travel and the world between worlds. Ahsoka is poised to handle time travel in a way that is completely unique and different to the current landscape, steering the series in a more fantasy direction. Here's what that might mean for the franchise and for the general storytelling in Star Wars as a whole. We can assume from the logo and from what we know about Rebels that they are going to include the world between worlds in this series. It seems unlikely that the O in the Ahsoka logo would only feature as an Easter egg with no real connection to what the show's about. Why evoke the world between worlds if we're not actually going to go about it? What's more is that the Morai briefly appeared in The Mandalorian Season 2. It's a hint by the creative team at Lucasfilm, including Dave Filoni, that they were planting the seeds for the world between worlds in The Mandalorian as a precursor to the Ahsoka Tano series. Time travel would set Ahsoka apart from the other Star Wars shows, opening all sorts of storytelling possibilities, including flashbacks to the future or the past. In the world between worlds, Ahsoka strongly cautioned Ezra against using the time travel portals a second time to save Kanan. She doesn't mention the word paradox, but is concerned that if Ezra tries to change a specific moment, the result could be catastrophic. So why would she suddenly decide time travel is okay? There are a variety of possibilities, but the most compelling one seems to lead right back to the reason she's alive at all: Ezra. Assuming that she's still on her quest to find him in the new series, she might use the portal to rescue him from hyperspace exile. We don't really know what she's up to this time around, but because she's looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn, there's a good bet that she is still searching for Ezra, possibly with Sabine Wren. So I must now ask you guys, what do you make of all of this? Are you excited for the Ahsoka Tano series, and are you looking forward to potentially seeing the world between worlds and maybe even Hayden Christensen in that series? So now, my dear amigos, let's move on to our next article. So a couple of days ago it was revealed that The Mandalorian Season 3 starts filming on the 5th of April. It was rumoured to be in August, but now it's been pushed forward to April, and I think that that's absolutely splendid. But I came across an article which accurately tries to predict when we can expect our first trailer and when we can expect the season to actually premiere on Disney+. So I'll read to you some of the highlights now. Production lists reports that The Mandalorian Season 3 will begin filming in California this spring. Assuming that everything goes ahead in the midst of the current state of the world, the start date provides us with a fairly good idea of when we might expect a premiere. Season 2 began filming in early October of 2019 and finished its production in early March. The season then premiered in October of 2020, over a year after it began filming. Applying that same basic timetable to the show's next season, using this April 2021 production date, would indicate that The Mandalorian Season 3 is probably going to premiere in early April of 2022. This means that we could expect a December or January first trailer date, unless they go with the trend of Season 2 and they'll leave it very late to February. As fans, we took notes that the Mandalorian spin-off The Book of Boba Fett would be premiering in December of this year, and it seemed to eliminate any chance that The Mandalorian would be returning in 2021. The follow-up confirmation that The Book of Boba Fett had already begun filming whereas The Mandalorian had not, only seemed to further validate those suspicions. So as aforementioned, if this production report is indeed accurate, then it means that Season 3 of The Mandalorian will likely premiere around spring of 2022, shortly after The Book of Boba Fett finishes airing its run of episodes. That makes sense, as Lucasfilm would likely want to avoid having new episodes of both shows airing at the same time on Disney+. But it also means that The Mandalorian will be breaking its established fall premiere pattern. And while this news might be disappointing to many fans, they still have a lot to look forward to. Not only does it seem possible and likely that The Book of Boba Fett and Mando Season 3 will be airing virtually back to back, there is a whole slew of new shows to look forward to. And of course, this includes Rangers, Ahsoka, Lando, Andor, Kenobi, The Bad Batch. We have so much to look forward to, and I really hope we find out when The Bad Batch will be releasing on Disney+. As always, I'll be covering every episode of all of the shows as much as possible, with full episode breakdowns and my analysis. So that is today's news update, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and also please consider heading over to my Patreon page, where for just $2 a month, you get exclusive access to content that's not found here on this platform. I'm Star Wars Mag, wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.